Yo, Ed Hawks, UK Street Champ here, and I'm here with a short tutorial about how to fix your KH adjustable seat post. Now, some people, me included, have experienced the problem where this cast part at the top has actually become unattached from the post itself. I think it's a fairly common problem. At first it seems like your seat post clamp's loose, and so you tighten it up a bit, the problem persists. You tighten it up a bit more, problem persists until you strip your seat post clamp, because it turns out it was just a casting coming loose all along. Basically, when this is manufactured, this silver casting at the top is actually pressed into the seat post. Obviously that's a press fit. I think there's probably some kind of bonding there as well, but it doesn't always hold fast, so sometimes it can twist. Really simple, cheap fix for this, which I'll show you. Now I'm going to be using roll pins, which I don't know if you can see there. It's a piece of rolled spring steel with a gap in it. Basically you drill a hole in the post, and then you drive the roll pin into the hole, and it holds that in place. Now these are really cheap. These cost me about 20p each, which is about 33 US cents. I think it's 37 Australian cents, and I think if I'm correct that was probably about 24 euro cents. So these cost absolutely nothing, they're so cheap. So yeah, basically you drill a hole in the post, drive these in, and because they're made of spring steel and they've got a slot in them, they will hold the post fast. Now you need to make sure that where you drill the holes, this casting goes down to about here. So you need to make sure the holes that you drill are above where this casting stops in the post, but we'll find out where that stops in a sec. Before we start drilling any holes, we need to know how far down the tube this casting actually goes, because you don't want to drill a hole and completely miss the casting, because that would completely defeat the object of this whole exercise. So basically, using an old spoke, if your seat post's longer you might need to use something a bit longer than an old spoke, but my seat post cut quite short. Insert the spoke down into the seat post until it stops. You'll feel it stop against the insert, and then move your fingers up and grab the spoke tightly. Now pull it out and don't move your fingers. Put that up against your ruler, and that is about 160 mil. Almost bang on actually. So we know that the seat post, right from the top, right from the casting down to here, is 180. I don't know if you can see that very well, but you'll have to trust me, that is 180 mil. So we know we've got 20 millimeters of post where the casting goes down to. So we know we've got 20 mil to play with. If we drill any further than 20 mil down, then we're going to miss the insert. So we need to make sure that we drill within this top 20 mil of the post. So that's nice and easy. Just make sure you definitely go through this casting, because you want to be fixing the casting to the post again. So now I know my depth, I need to just centre punch a couple of marks. I'm going to do 2 pins, so at right angles to each other. One this way, and then we'll centre punch those and then get the holes drilled. Now there's no way that you guys are going to be able to see that, but I've just centre punched, I think it's just there. Put a centre punch there. That's just so that the drill doesn't slip off and it makes drilling the holes a lot easier. So I've done that one on that side. I'm now going to rotate that 90 degrees, so we've got another one at 90 degrees, remembering not to, where's my ruler gone? Remembering that I can't go further than 20 mil from the end of that post. So I'm going to centre punch this other one at 90 degrees at about 15 mil, because I did the other one at 5 mil. Now I've centre punched that hole, just there. Now we need to select a drill bit. Now these roll pins that I'm using are about 2.5 mil, so we're going to need a 2 mil drill to drill a 2 mil hole, because how these work is they've got that slot there. They're made of spring steel, so when they're compressed into a smaller hole, then the spring steel pushes against the hole and it keeps them wedged in. So I'm lucky enough to have a pillar drill, so this is going to be really easy. You can use a normal hand drill, but it's going to be a bit more tricky and you've got a bigger chance of snapping the bit because obviously these drill bits are quite small. So I'm just going to put this camera down and I'll drill the holes and then we'll have a look at them. Okay, I don't know how much of this you guys are going to be able to see, but I've tried to prop the camera up so you can actually see me drilling the hole. As you can see, I've had to wedge it up with a bit of wood because obviously that way round I can put the post flat against the bed of the drill, but this way round it has to be raised up a bit, otherwise you risk snapping the drill bit. So let's just see if this... You really should wear safety glasses and gloves for this. But YOLO. So now we've got our holes drilled. There's one. There is the other. We can bang our pins in. I really should have used my tripod for this, but I'm going to try and do it one-handed. So we've got our holes drilled. One there, one there. So put your pin in. Obviously it's not going to go in by hand, but you can kind of wedge it in just like that. Then get your hammer. Now it doesn't need to be a sledgehammer. I'm using a ball peen hammer. It's a bit too big really, but I can't find my tack hammer. So, but what I'd normally do is I'd use a tack hammer for this. As I say, it doesn't need to be heavy duty, and you just gently tap that pin. There you go. Look, you see it goes easily through. That's going in so easily. I'm hardly even I'm just letting the weight of the hammer drop down on that. Maybe a little bit more. Now, when that looks like that's in, turn it round. Make sure it's coming out the other side. That's just protruding. I'm going to do that a bit more. There we go. Now you can see it sticking out this side by that much, and by about it's about equal. That is perfect. So now I'm just going to rotate this round so we can tap the other one in, and we'll put the... I've just dropped that on the floor. Now we're going to put the other pin in, so it's at 90 degrees to the other one. There we go. Alright, I messed that hole up a bit, I think, on that side. So same again, tap that through. There we go. That's sticking out that side. Doesn't matter, that's only a tiny bit. I might go a bit more actually, just to make it even. That's a bit better. So now you can see, I'll put it against this box so you can see better. Now we have two pins, one that way, one that way. Now that is fixed. That will work like that, but just to clean it up, let's just chop the ends of those pins off. Let's just get a hacksaw and I'll just take the ends off. So I've clamped it in the vise, only lightly, so you don't crush anything important, because we all know what crushing important things is like. And I've got a hacksaw, and I'm literally just gonna... Oh, this is awkward to film. So I'm just gonna hacksaw that off so it's flush with the surface of the post. So I've hacksawed those off. I don't know if you can see. This is struggling to focus. Yeah, I've hacksawed those off. Now they don't look pretty, as you can see, and I'm actually gonna use a file to clean them up a bit more, so it's going to scratch even more of the anodising off. But that's fixed, and I don't care about it looking pretty. As long as I can ride downhill, I don't care. So that's how to fix your seat post for about 50p or 22 cents if you're in America, or 33 cents or whatever it was. So hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and get out there and ride with your old broken KHC posts.